arts community in New York is made up of people from all walks of life, including some with prominent political connections. Mariam Ghani's father is the new president of Afghanistan. As David Schuster reports, the American-born artist finds herself balancing two very different worlds.
Right behind where the camera is placed are a set of Viking rock graves.
Mariam Ghani is a New York-born visual artist living in Brooklyn.
A spirit of place.
Her new show opened recently, a project from Norway and a selection of prints from her book called Afghanistan, a lexicon.
The lexicon was originally made in 2011. For me, it's an important kind of project to do because it points to these sort of lesser-known histories of Afghanistan.
Ghani has a special connection with Afghanistan. Her father, Ashraf Ghani, is that country's president. Her mother, Rula, is from Lebanon.
Most of the time that I was growing up, there were these wars happening in my parents' countries. And so for me, the idea of politics has never been abstract. It's always been extremely personal.
Ghani has been a professional artist for 14 years.
I'm always interested in the history of places, and perhaps that comes from growing up as part of a family where there were so many different histories.
Her father, a PhD who taught anthropology in the United States and did finance at the World Bank, has been Afghanistan's president for just 5 months.
I think at first I was surprised. And then, when I saw him kind of in his element in Afghanistan, it all made sense to me.
That could be because the Ghani family has been involved in Afghanistan politics for over 100 years.
My parents themselves are very down-to-earth people, and they have never been interested in being elite in any way. They're only interested in being public servants, and that's the way my brother and I were also raised.
And they were also raised, she says, to pull together. So when daughter began working on lexicon,
it's a much smaller selection that were made into prints.
She sought out via Skype her father's historical perspective.
I'm drawing from, this very deep knowledge of Afghanistan that he has.
As for daughter helping her dad,
occasionally we talk about certain aspects of politics, but it's not like I have an advisory role.
Still, the president of Afghanistan and his American artist daughter share much in common. Both are hoping to show what Afghanistan was and what it could be again.
And the history of modernism, the history of intellectualism, all these other Afghanistans that once existed and, possibly could exist again, if not in exactly the same form, but maybe in an updated or transformed one.
Has your dad had a chance to see the exhibit in any sort of form or fashion? Or?
No, not yet. He's a very busy man.
Yeah. I can't imagine with what.
Yes, but my mom actually did.
And what was her reaction?
She really, she liked it. She's also very supportive.
Ghani's mother has an office in the presidential palace where the First Lady tries to help Afghan women and assist the hundreds of thousands of people in the country who are displaced.
If there's something that she thinks she can do with a sort of minimal intervention, then she does it. But most of the time she's just listening to people, which is really a kind of a valuable service.
And service is at the heart of the Ghani family. They are all in their own way trying to help the Afghan people persevere.
The struggle of life is also a theme of Afghanistan, a lexicon, and which is really about the struggle to realize a series of dreams, right? And not necessarily being able to realize them fully, but the dreams persist. And, the dreams continue, and the dreams are still there and to be picked up again.
A message of hope and optimism from Kabul to New York City. David Schuster, Al Jazeera, New York.